Assalamu alaikum dear students. Today we are going to start the week 7 lesson of economics for class C2. The resource material is Cambridge Economics book, which is written by the Brent Tetley and Dan Menon. You can also use a reference book which is written by the Susan Grant. In the contents, first of all, we will check the objective. After that, we will review the last week topic. Then, in current week topic, we will check the possible conflicts between macroeconomic aims. After that, there will be a summary and then an assignment. The objective is, by the end of the lesson, you will be able to explain the possible conflicts between macroeconomic aims. Conflict between macroeconomic objectives relates with the previous week's topic, so we will revise first. After that, we will discuss about the confliction. Macroeconomics is the study of how a national economy works. It involves understanding the interaction between changes in total demand and output and national income, employment and price inflation in an economy. In contrast, microeconomics analysis the market behavior of individual consumers and producers and how different markets work. The total expenditure or demand in a macroeconomy is therefore the sum of the following. These are consumer expenditure, investment expenditure, public sector expenditure, and exports. Total expenditure in an economy is therefore spent on the total quantity supplied of all goods and services in that economy. This is the sum of all goods and services supplied by the private firms and public sector organizations in the economy. Macroeconomic aims of the government are economic growth, a high and stable level of employment, a low and stable rate of inflation, and a stable balance of international trade and payments. These four macroeconomic objectives or aims can be achieved with the help of two different policies. These are demand side policy and supply side policy. We have checked these policies in detail in the previous topic. Now come towards the possible conflicts between macroeconomic aims. The macroeconomic objectives of a government can prove difficult to achieve individually. Government make the rules for the economic development of the country, but there can be some reactions which can create conflicts among these policies. These can be lower unemployment or slower price inflation, more growth, more jobs, or more imports. Lower unemployment or slower price inflation. Some policy measures to reduce unemployment and boost economic growth may result in higher rates of price inflation. For example, a government may increase its spending and cut taxes to boost the total demand for goods and services. This in turn should help to create more jobs and incomes. However, as total demand increases, the market prices of many goods and services will also tend to rise because there can be a shortage of goods and demand can be high, so producers will increase the prices of their goods and services. If price inflation is high and rising, a government may impose the taxes on incomes, cut the public expenditures, and raise interest rates to make borrowing more expensive. If borrowing is expensive, then producers will feel difficult to take the loan or borrowing the money. So they will borrow less, and if they are borrowing less, they will not have enough money to invest in the new project or in new technology, so they can feel difficulty. Reducing total demand may help to reduce the prices, but firms are likely to respond by cutting production and reducing their workforce. And if workforce is reducing, then there can be unemployment in the market. It is a main conflict between the macroeconomic aims. More growth, more jobs, or more imports. Demand side measures to increase total demand in an economy might boost total output, employment, and incomes, but may also encourage consumers to spend more on imported goods and services. This will affect the stability of the balance of payments because we will import more goods, so there will be more amount or more money to pay outside the country, which can imbalance the balance of payment. Faster economic growth in the national output may also result in more pollution and waste, possibly conflicting with any environmental objectives. Environmental pollution can be there, just like air pollution, noise pollution, and other type of pollutions, etc. Now there can be a question that do macroeconomic aims always conflict? However, not all economists accept there will always be a trade-offs or conflicts between government macroeconomic aims. That is, they see no reason why low unemployment, low and stable prices, economic growth, and balance of payments, stability cannot be achieved together. Government economic policies can and should be designed to do so. So some economists are not agree with these type of conflicts. My dear students, now come towards the summary. In this lesson, you have learned about the possible conflicts between macroeconomic aims through lower unemployment or slower price inflation. The second point is more growth, more jobs, or more imports. And in the last, there was a question that do more economic aims always conflict? I have given you its answer or clue that some economists are not agree with this conflict because they think that government objectives or government aims should be designed for the development of macroeconomy. In the last, there is a question as an assignment, which is, do macroeconomic aims always conflict? Explain in detail. My dear students, you can take the help from the book as well, and you can also search the topic from the Google. It will help you to give the answer of this question. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.